Respected teacher, dear brothers and sisters, dear son. So today is 14 June 2020. And we are in a white elephant meditation hall. Let us acknowledge together the current situation of the world right now. Just return to your breath. I'm sure that you have listened to the news and also witnessed the world situation. The COVID-19 is still going on, and we haven't had the vaccine yet. And yesterday in Melbourne, in Australia, the protesters in Melbourne been tested positive for COVID-19. Can you imagine there's no social distancing? And everybody is afraid for the second wave of those COVID-19. And also in America, the protest for Black Lives Matter. It's been going on for 3 weeks now. I think last week, when I watched the news, that night I could not sleep because I can feel in me the suffering. So the fact is, there's a lot of suffering going on right now. So let us practice some metta meditation together to send our love or wishing to those who pass away because of the COVID-19 and also who are suffering right now. It doesn't matter who you are, and black or white, Asians or Westerners. The reality is everyone right now is suffering. So let us just return to ourselves. We wish that with a little love and care from our heart, we can send to the world. So that they can feel at ease, at peace, and such a little moment is good enough. So find yourself in a calm and peaceful posture. Close your eyes. So you can send our love and our wishes to ourselves first, and to others, and also to us, and to the world. So we can listen to one side of the breath. You can breathe. Follow your breathing while you listen to the ground. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy right in this moment. You can think of the one that you love and say this to her and him. May you be filled with loving kindness, love, and compassion. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And I am happy that I know that you are there for me. I am here for you. May we be filled with love and understanding, and loving kindness and laughter. May we be well. May we be at peace and at ease. May we be free from suffering, pain, anger, frustration. May we have capacity to sit still and calm ourselves. May we be happy. May the world be filled with loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness. May the world be free from anger, grief, anxiety, may the world be at peace and happy. Feel the peace, love, and care within us. Take a deep breath. You can feel the calmness in our heart. We wish everybody right now in this moment can let go of their anger, from grief, from anxiety, I am you, and you are me. We don't have a separate entity. So thank you so much for your practice. I know that the world really needs this right now. With our honor, kindness, and our love and understanding, we can cool the heat. In people's heart. So dear Sangha, in this Dharma talk, I will continue to finish the discourse on transforming violence and fear. So 2 weeks ago, that our elder brother, Thai Plum have shared into the verse 15, 14. So today I will finish the discourse, the verses 15 to 20. I wish that we can have our teacher, so he can show us a better guidance. But today, with my little experience, also my practice still not that strong. So I will share with my capacity. So I hope that everybody can understand and can find something and keep it just for yourself to practice. So we're not going to solve the problems, but we, in this Dharma talk, we will learn to step back. To look deeply into ourselves. To recognize and learn the way how to really transform the fear and violence within ourselves. Because from me, for my personal practice, I still see that if I receive triggers, I can feel the flame of violence in me. Even though I've been practicing quite a while. But if we're not careful, the flame of violence and fear still rise. There's no ways to deny it. So we can study together. So from all the verses. So the first one I will call. The topic for today that I thought of is it possible? That's a big question. Is it possible? Before and after. Why I call before and after? Before we know the practice, how we behave, how we deal and face with violence and suffering. So I went through all the verses. So the word has been repeated again and again from verses 16, the word ignorance. It's been repeated again and again. And it seems like the Buddha would like to tell us ignorance is a sharp, pointed knife that hidden in our heart. And I found in the dictionary that they define ignorance. Ignorant means failure to understand something. Something that the Buddha would like to say that you missed out or you failed to understand the true nature of all phenomena. So that's why the verse 15 said that you have to transcend the idea that this body is me. So that's why we're very happy that we can encounter the Dharma. We have a very great teacher to show us why we're so ignorant. So before we know the Dharma, so we suffer from, this is before. We suffer from hatred, anger, jealousy, frustration, pride, oversleeping, violence, terror, and the three complexes. And we drowned in entertainment. Discrimination. And the most destructive one is sensory desire. Doubt, greed, and false speech. And many more. So I went through the sutra, the discourse, and this is all the things that we stuck. This is how we behave. This is how we treat people. This is how we revenge when we suffer. So in the verse number 1 is saying that when we suffer, what would we do? What would we do? We terrorize, punish people. We wish that we can reduce our suffering. But the question is it possible to reduce our suffering if we behave like this, if we act like this? No. Our suffering will increase. So that's what the Buddha said, that when you have anger inside, you need the antidote, which is loving kindness. So this is how we live our life before we encounter the Dharma. This is how our life had been. But I'm sure that for those who are listening or learning the Dharma, we know that we are the luckiest people. The Buddha didn't force us force us to do this and do that in order to relieve the suffering. He just showed us the way. He's the king of the doctors. So it's very simple, like when I thought of that I would like to become a nun, I had no idea what the nun's life could be. Just like I was just like everybody. I studied, got a job, and the final step is to get married. That is not a very normal cycle of life. think that it's really asking me, is this all life about? I had no clue. But I experienced or witnessed the suffering within my family, my relatives, and the environment around me so much. But it doesn't mean that I escape from them. People say that, oh, you became a nun because your broken heart, or you escape from the world, so you can be a nun or monastic, so you have a very relaxing life. That is the wrong view. If you want to become monastic, you're welcome to experience it. It's not, monastic life is not easy. But however, living in this life, or even you in a lay form, a lay practitioner form, you can experience how the practice helps us so much in our daily life, in the way we see things, in the way we understand things. So we can be free from ignorance. And after you encounter the dharma, you know that you have a chance to learn so much wonderful things. So the Buddha said that you have to look deeply into the nature of all things. So what the Buddha taught us, just like a song that you have learned before a Dharma talk, this body is not me. These perceptions are not me. And I am not limited by this body. I am one with all life. I have always been free. I think that word is very fearful right now. I want to escape. So he said that he taught us the nature. The true nature of all phenomena, which is they are impermanent. They are not have known self. And the Buddha said that you don't have to believe me at first. Come and see directly. Can you even experience your own body about the impermanence? This morning, especially before the day that I gave a Dharma talk, I have my mind. It's just like it's really. I think a lot, and I use my breath to calm them down. And before Dharma talk, before I came here, one of my younger sisters asked me, "Are you still nervous when you give a talk?" I was still human. Before you say something and before you stand in front of the public, your heart still beats very fast. But that nervousness is less and less right now, because I have my brother and sister support. Sitting there, support me by just look at me and smile. Sometimes I have opened really hard the eyes, because if they otherwise they will fall to sleep. And somehow I said that maybe my Dharma talk can lullaby you very well. But you know, you can see our feelings, our perceptions changing all the time. We love that person today, and tomorrow we can hate that person badly. For example, if you live with many people, especially when you live with your loved ones, you have the view that they like that and I'm like this. Nothing's changed. I say, if you get stuck with that, your life will be invisible. There's nothing changed. There's nothing new. But the true nature of all our body, our feeling, our perceptions, our mental formation, and our consciousness changes every second. And in the sutra, in Agattara Nikaya 10:13, Buddha mentioned about 10 factors. Something that tie us up. There's a big obstacle. They tie us up, don't let us be free. And he mentioned that this first one is sensual lust. So this is how we live our life with sensual desire. The second one is anger. Third one, concealment. Views is because self-identification view. We will about ourselves. like this. And the fifth one is doubt. Attachment to ritual. 7. Lust for existence. 8. Jealousy. 9. Greed. And 10 is ignorance. The question is, do we still have it? Do we still been stuck with it right now? Do we get angry easily? Are we greedy? A lot. We have a lot of doubt. Doubt in what we're learning. We have doubt in our own teachers also. Jealousy. I still feel jealous sometimes. Our bottom line is monastic is still human, so we still have like this. We still have them. We still have anger, we still have conceit, we have sensual lust. So the question is that even you learn that these are factors, is big obstacles on our practice in our daily life. It's an obstacle for our happiness. What can we do from here? So the question is, can we transform them in us? I'm very practical with that. Even though I still have doubts, I still have jealousy, I'm greedy. Even though monastic we cannot have so much material things, but sometimes we greed for love, for care. But the Buddha said that it's okay to have it. We just need to recognize it when it arises in us. When it arises in us, we recognize that, oh, I'm having greed in me. And when you just look into yourself and you don't feel that you have any greed, you say, oh, you recognize that I don't have any greed or any anger in me. It is okay to have, but it's not okay if we don't practice. It's not okay when we let it control us. Somehow it's, even though that I will share the last part of the discourse, but also to wrap up everything from the discourse also. So I've been working on it for the last week, and I found out is one thing is so wonderful that is happening inside of our own body. In our own body, we have ability we call self-adjusting mechanism. For example, when like here, when the weather is so hot, what will we do? We need fan, right? Or you have a cold drink to cool the temperature down. So we have a body temperature regulation. And for those who in the winter time, they shiver. Because the weather outside too cold and the body's temperature cannot handle it. And the reaction of the body is shivering. And then the reaction of our mind is saying, oh, I need a jacket. So that is the ability to maintain a stable internal environment. And if you have listened to the presentation of our brother and sister last month, sức khỏe tinh thần, that's ability, that's body ability we call homeostasis. They keep the internal environment in itself of our body balance. Just like when we hungry, our stomach hungry, empty, how the body responds? They make noise like that to let you know that the body needs fuel. When it's hot, we need fan to cool us down. When it's cold, we need a jacket, and our body feel warm. Just like I shared before, that before and after, and this is time for us to balance ourselves. Can we? Before, I suffered so much because of anger. I confess before a nun, I was a nun, I am a very hot-tempered person. And I'm lucky that I'm still, I am still a hot-tempered person. Somehow it's hidden somewhere. But I can feel my heart and my energy when something I dislike, or something that I told, but they don't listen. That is my weakness. That I have to control my temper. We usually say, oh, I've been transmitted from my father. It's true. But the thing is, how can you do that? So I am very happy with we have the treasure in ourselves. We have a self-adjusting mechanism in ourselves. That we have capacity to balance. So before we encounter the Dharma, we haven't learned anything. When we get angry, what do we do? Explode. We say certain things, we do certain things that we can damage the relationship. We can hurt people. Just like in the discourse, when you suffer, what do? You terrorize and punish people. It's just because we don't know our capacity yet. But if we want to make a good use this mechanism, it takes a lot of challenges. We need to be courageous and patient. So we know that we have that capacity. And we learn one more thing, that peace ourselves in oneself peace in the world. Tâm mình, thế giới mình. So the key is, before we can go out there and fight for the injustice or happiness or to solve problems, we have to ask ourselves at this right in this moment, are we at peace? We need to take some time to be still, to feel our own body right now. Can we feel our own breath? Can we really understand our own roots of suffering? as we learn that in us we have, in our strong consciousness, is a whole universe. There's all kind of seeds. It's just like one cell in our body. Because this body is been made by trillions of cells. But we know that when the seeds is still in the form of seed, it's not wholesome or unwholesome. It's just very organic. But when we receive the triggers from external conditions or external environment, this is being watered and manifests into the mental formation. So this is in the form of seed. And when it's manifest into the mental formation, it will become one kind of energy. Anger is energy. Love is energy. Just like a car has petrol. You give the car to move on. When we have love in our heart, we have energy of love. So we can help a lot of people. And if we have anger in our heart, that energy will punish others. So that's why it's so important for us during the day, we have to feel our energy. We can have a chance to sit still and feel ourselves. First, we feel our breath, the being of this body, and the energy within. Do you feel the energy of love or energy of anger? That is a process of adjusting ourselves. So we have to understand that we have a chance and we have capacity to adjust ourselves the way we feel and why we suffer. And of course, it's not easy. Like the homeostasis is a state or ability of our body is happening automatically. But for us, if we want to balance our mind, our state of mind, it's not a gift given. It's not automatic. So we need to train ourselves. We need to train our mind to we can transform the energy of anger into love and understanding. So first of all, we need to train our mind. We need to tame our mind. Thuần hóa nó. Like before, we didn't know the dharma. We will behave like this and behave like that. But after you practice we learn the dharma, we tame our monkey mind. And we need to educate it. How can we educate it ourselves? Show the way we think the way. Show our way to perceive things. Try to remind ourselves that all phenomena is impermanent, even our loved ones. Just like I mentioned in my previous talk, when my mother passed away, what Thai helped me was telling me that look at your palm. Can you feel and you can see your mother in your palm? I said no. Because my grief took over me. So Thai, very patient and very compassionate. He kept repeating it again and again and again. Educated. Tell the way we think, we act, and we speak the right way. So we learned that when we have to, when we get angry, we don't have to do anything, to return to our mindful breath or mindful steps. That's the way we educate ourselves. And you know that the seeds is not only transmitted from our ancestors, it's also for innate. It means that we already have. And from transmission. From our ancestors. And right now in the world, they want the baby in the tummy be smart. Then let the baby listen to Mozart, piano, music. That's what my brother did to his son. So that's what all the seeds they can get from during the pregnancy. From childhood. From friends. From school. And society. So you have to know that whatever we have right now has been in us. The seeds that you can have That's what we call individual karma. For example, in your family, nobody wants to learn the dharma except you. That's your own karma. Good karma. Just like right now, when you listen, even you listen to one talk, and you didn't pay attention about it, but it's still there, nothing's lost. It becomes seed, be dropped down in your star consciousness. And it's been mentioned that I'm a hot-tempered person. Of course, I've been transmitted from my parents, but during that, when I'm still in my mother's tummy, I could hear, I could feel the energy when they're arguing, when they're fighting. And when in my childhood, even when I was very little, I witnessed them fight. So this kind of thing, it just, water the seeds of anger that we didn't know. And also we have received them from friends. If you have a good friends, then we water a good seeds in us. But if you have a not good friends, you will behave like them. And in school, there's a lot of bullying right now in school. Fear and violence. And can you feel in society, in the world right now, there's a lot of anger, frustration. So these kind of things is create water in ourselves. And if we're not careful, if we don't tend it, if we don't educate it and train it, it will become a very strong energy that manifested in us. You don't have to believe me. You can feel it in yourself. Whatever you receive, always going out. If you water love, your speech, your smile, your action, your behavior, you carry a signature of love. If we're not fortunate enough, we encounter violence in our life. The way we react to other people, to ourselves, in our daily life, in the same way, in the same attitude. So if we cannot punish others, we harm ourselves. And there's a lot of children and teenagers right now, they harm themselves very much. Which you just go into ask Mr. Google, it says self-harm, teenager, and they will show you the reality of the young generations right now. They cannot do anything to others, they harm themselves. So that's why we need to be very careful that if we take care of ourselves well, the world will be at peace. So, is it clear enough? We know that If we take care of ourselves well, we will know how to take care of others. Right in this body. If we can take care of our emotions, we can know to love better. I don't pour my emotions to others, to harm, to damage the relationship. And this is how I'm trying. It doesn't mean that I can do all the time. I still get angry. If you don't know, you ask the sister next to me. But I know that I know the way. I have the way. I'm on the way. And you too. Our body has that capacity. So the next step is how. So in the sutra, Kotita, the Samyutta Nikaya 35, 191. The Venerable Sariputta. This is a conversation between the Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Kotita. The Venerable Kotita asked the Venerable Sariputta, "Now tell me, friend Sariputta, is the eyes the factor of forms, or the forms the factor of the eyes?" So this is the eyes, is our sense of it, is a form. So he asked, Venerable Kotita asked Venerable Sariputta, is the eyes a factor of form, or forms are factors of eyes? And of course, when the eyes will have ears, and tongues, and body, and nose, and intellect is a factor of ideas. We get stuck with this a lot. We know a lot, and we come with our view. So in the intellect, is the idea, is the factors of ideas, or ideas are the factors of intellect? And the Venerable Sariputta said, "No, my friend, the eye is not the factor of form, nor are forms the factor of the eye. Whatever desire and lust desire, and passion. Independence on these two, it becomes fact. I give the example of the white buffalo and the black buffalo. Which one is factors of which? But the factor is the yoke, connect two of them. For example, when you go shopping, the sellers make their goods very attractive and it looks so tempting. You like to come and have a look. So the things, the goods is factors to your eyes, and your eyes are factors of the good. No. Unless you have desire and passion, you say, oh, I want it. That is the factor. It doesn't matter how beautiful and nice and cheap and good things are, if we don't like it, that's nothing. For example, right now, if we have instant noodles and you're hungry, and if you don't like it, instant noodles cannot tempt you, right? You cannot come and say, oh, can I have that instant noodles? Can I have that cup? It's desire and passion that tie you up. So, the third part, peace is the way. So that's just like in the sutra, Satipatthana Sutra. The Buddha advised us taught us to be aware, to be mindful of our body, our feelings, our decisions, our mind and objects of mind. And what he asks us to do? Take a mindful breath. Just like the guy that's sitting this morning, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. That peace. Peace happens right there. If you don't let your minds wandering around. So, you want peace, you have peace. And we have the sentence of his calligraphy. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. And peace you can taste if whatever you practice. If you take a mindful breath, peace is there for us. Okay. It looks like everybody's sleeping right now. See, I told you I'm good by you very well. And the heart, in our 5 contemplations during a time of eating, we say that we stop the non-stop thinking radio channel. Our mind just like monkey, jump here and there. First we have to stop. The radio channel is NSD. And the second one is also the end. This is our tendency. What does end stand for? And this is also the own scientists or the psychologists also ask the patients, learn to stop the ends. That is automatic negative thinking or thoughts. Negative. This is our tendency. We always think negative. We always have tendency to fault finding. Finding fault. Because we cannot stop the non-stop thinking channel. It's just a very common and normal process. So that's why we need to slow down. We need to eat. We need to walk. We need to sit in mindfulness. And be contentment. Be content. I didn't realize that it's nearly 10:30. I usually follow the time, but and always reminding ourselves the 5 remembrances. It's so amazing. It's just a constant. This morning, my brother guided everyone about the 5 remembrances. I have the nature to grow old. And I look at my sister, she always looks young. Is already, we changed a little bit. I am in the nature to slowly get old. And train ourselves how to live alone. Don't get stuck in the past or future. Be present. Really present in the present moment. How to live in the present moment is an art. I really like the touching the earth this morning. So I would like to read that to finish my, there's a lot more. But the touching the earth text this morning is, it will wrap up everything. It's not, we not only take care of ourselves in the present moment, but it's a way that we can take care of our descendants also. So for those who was not in the sitting this morning, I will read this one for you. Nourishing our ancestors and descendants, Lord Buddha, in the Avatamsaka Sutra, we have taught that the one contains the all, and that the present contains not only the past, but also the future. When I look deeply into the present, I can touch the future. I can be in touch with all my descendants because the future generation are already in me. I can feel that. Oh, this is my sentence, not the distance, okay? I'm aware that when I took after myself, well in the present moment, I am looking after my descendants. When I have true love and compassion for myself, I have love and compassion for them. whatever I offer them, whatever I offer myself, I offer them. One thing I can offer myself many times a day is a mindful steps, which I make with solidity, peace, and freedom. Every step like that nourishes me, my ancestors in me, and all the generations of descendants which are present in me and waiting to manifest. Isn't it wonderful? This is how we educate ourselves, to see the true nature of all things. We don't get stuck in ignorance anymore. We have power. The thing is, are you ready? And if you want to, and the last thing that I like to practice to transform the energy of fear and violence in me is to maintain my gratitude. So I take this chance. I would like to express my gratitude to my sisters, my brothers here, especially to the Bangladesh, the internal committee. They're working very hard to make the sisters' life. They change a lot, and they work very hard, even though they encounter a lot of difficulties. But with their heart and their love, and also to all the sisters, the Dharma teacher sisters, my younger sisters and my brothers. For the last month, every one of us worked very hard, especially this week. We work in the morning, work in the afternoon, wholeheartedly. There's no discrimination between the sisters' quarter or the brothers' quarter. Even I heard that the sister came to the brothers' quarter to do weeding. I said, wow, that's interesting. And cut the grass. So for those who have transformation in their practice, I feel gratitude deep down in my heart. So to finish my talk, I would like to sing a song. You raise me up. To express my love, my care, and my deep down, the gratitude deep down my heart to everyone. And for those who are practicing right now out there, we also know that we always remind ourselves that we have ability to become. And the question for the title for this talk, is it possible? Yes. It is possible for us. When we have the right view, right thinking, and the right action. So thank you so much and enjoy the song.
Till you come and seize the world.